It's Thursday, October 15th, and this is What Did I Miss, the show that finds everything that's interesting on the internet today so that you don't have to. If you have suggestions on stories that I should cover, you can leave it in the comment section below, or you can tweet me at I'm Not Jeff Hans. If you like the show and want to show your support, subscribe to the channel and share it with everyone that you know. Without further ado, let's do this. Imagine this, you go to the gas station and you buy a scratch-off lotto ticket. By the time you're done, you realize you just won $600. It's not a life-changing amount of money, but it's still nice to have an extra $600 in your pocket. So you go to the local lottery office, you hand them the ticket, and in return, they give you not cash, not a check, but an IOU. That's the issue that's plaguing lottery winners in Illinois. The state has yet to reach a budget decision since the last one expired in June of this year, meaning that though the state has the money to pay out the prizes, they don't have the legal authority to provide the checks. A number of lottery winners have filed a class action lawsuit stating that what the state is doing is unethical, that if anyone else sold raffle tickets and then refused to pay out prizes, then they would be sued or in jail. The lawsuit included all of the winnings that have yet to be paid, which is a sum of $288 million. It's funny how if you're late on your rent by even a few days, you get tons of warnings from your landlord, but an entire state can be late $288 million over 4 months. And nothing happens. In Why Does Hollywood Like to Ruin Good Things news, there's rumors of an additional movie for the Die Hard franchise. Early information alluded to the possibility of the film being a prequel called Die Hard Year One, to be set on the streets of New York in 1979 to show how John McClane became the badass cop that he is today. Look, I've been a fan of the series since they came out. The first one, Hans Gruber, my last name. I was way too young when I saw the movie, so they're ingrained in my cinematic fibers. That being said, stop. Just stop. There is no need for a prequel. The first Die Hard is where everything begins. We don't need to see him on the streets of New York. We don't need any further explanation about what happened with his wife. Just leave it alone. Just leave it. The only reason that they're even attempting to do this is that even though the last movie got terrible reviews, it still made $300 million worldwide. So they know that attaching a crap screenplay to the Die Hard name is automatically going to make money. Come on, Hollywood, time to make up some new ideas. This next story is out of Zimbabwe, where in a national protected park, over 24 elephants were found poisoned with cyanide. This is in addition to the 14 elephants that were found last week. When patrolling the park, rangers found carcasses of elephants, and several of them had their tusks removed. It is believed that the poachers are using cyanide because it's easily obtainable through the Zimbabwe mining industry. No arrests have been made, but they have increased patrols in the park. The odd claim that was made came from the Environment, Water, and Climate Minister, who claims that the increase in poaching comes from a U.S. ban on hunting elephants for sport. All this poaching is because of American policies. They are banning sport hunting. An elephant would cost $120,000 in sport hunting, but a tourist pays only $10 to view the same elephant. The money from sport hunting helps conservation efforts. But I want to hear what you guys think. Should sport hunters be allowed to hunt elephants if it means more money for conservation? Or do you think poachers are going to do whatever they can to obtain ivory? Let me know in the comments below. Real quick, this isn't a huge story, but I did find a guy that made an actual working Thor Hammer. It functions with electromagnets and a thumbprint scanner. And the guy took it out for a test drive and only one person was able to figure the thing out. You have a couple of minutes, it's worth a watch, and the link is in the description. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about global warming and emissions from vehicles. Well, Toyota is listening to the research and has a plan to nearly eliminate all of their gas-powered vehicles by 2050. They're looking to reduce their fleet to only fuel cell vehicles and hybrids, to cut their emissions output by 90% to meet the 2050 deadline. Fuel cell vehicles run on hydrogen and produce zero emissions. Experts are claiming that though the 2050 deadline seems like it's far off, the idea of removing combustion engines by that time seems a bit ambitious. Even with this commitment to reduce emissions, more has to be done to reduce the effects of global warming, which is why Toyota is also reducing their emissions in their production process by investing in hydrogen manufacturing technology. Comic book nerds were celebrating this morning when they got news that the Fantastic Four franchise may be returned to Marvel. As of right now, the rights are owned by Fox, which is believed to be the reason why any movie adaptation of the franchise that has come out in recent years has been a flop. The news reported that there was a possibility that the rights to the franchise would be returned to Marvel, and immediate plans would be drawn up for the 2020 release of a movie adaptation. But sadly, all of that news is completely untrue, as confirmed by 20th Century Fox, and Marvel confirmed as well. Will we ever get a good Fantastic Four movie? The answer's no. And that's all I have for today. If you'd like to learn anything more about what I talked about, you can check out the links in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share the video with all of your friends. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow when you ask yourself, what did I miss?